Welcome, guys, to the Hair Wire, the place where you get hair smart. This is your host, Sergio Cardona, alongside with my good friends, Carrie, Jared, and Bisan Dipsy. How you guys doing?
Doing great, thank you. I'm doing swell.
How about you, Bisan? How you doing?
And I'm doing okay. I am awake now. So I can process a little bit more.
Hey, we're awake by the mercy of the Lord today because, this week he has to take a toll on all of us. But today, because of that, we want to talk about serotonin and the effects that serotonin has on our hair. Now, Bisan, you are the research one. What do we need to know about serotonin?
So scientifically speaking, serotonin is a neurotransmitter. It is the happy hormone. It makes us happy and it makes us feel content. And it is a very important hormone because without happiness, when we wake up in the morning, we don't have the energy for our brain to start like doing stuff and for us to do anything anyway. Like if we don't have serotonin, then people with depression and anxiety actually have low serotonin levels. So serotonin is synthesized in our gut, and it is actually from the amino acid tryptophan. Tryptophan is actually found in Turkey, and it has been banned in the US since long time because banned to use in smoothies, in nut smoothies, in the protein shakes. You know, the protein shakes that we buy, they tell you this is all amino acids. It is all amino acids except tryptophan. So for people who don't know that, and tryptophan is very important for your relaxation at night and for your serotonin production.
I did not know that. I did not know that. This is what we have at the Hair Wire, a researcher like Bisan, because she will always give us these little details of information that, are very hard to find.
Yes, because I love this.
Yeah. Question. So tryptophan, is it the same that's found in bananas?
Tryptophan, I'm not sure if it's found in bananas, but it's the amino acid that's found in turkey.
But because I remember my mom would all the time be like, Carrie, you eat bananas for the tryptophan, and there's tryptophan in the bananas. And I remember my doctor also said the same thing. So maybe I have that wrong.
Look it up for you. I don't think so. Tryptophan food, I never heard it before, but let's see.
There should be a couple of foods that would add
it's
tryptophan.
Like it's found in egg whites, fish, sunflower seeds, peanuts, and pumpkin seeds.
Bananas, the only fruit on the list. Bananas contain the only fruit on this list. So it's at the Western Michigan University.
I think it will depend on the amount. How much?
Well, it says bananas contain an amino acid called tryptophan.
Okay.
Interesting. Why it
do you remember?
Okay, the bananas in Canada has tryptophan. The bananas in the US.
Yeah, it's saying right now a medium-sized banana contains approximately 11 milligrams of tryptophan. Because I remember growing up.
I'm doing a Google search here and banana is not here.
And I'm getting it here on my thing. Bananas, I put in the Google search bananas.
It's blocked in the US.
It's blocked.
It's blocked for the US. But in Canada, that's the thing, guys. About the internet, when you're searching for something, that's why you need a how to master your IPS address. What's that? I forgot the name of it.
IP address.
Yeah, and because here we have on mine, I'm in Canada. Foods that contain tryptophan include dairy products, eggs, milk, low-fat yogurt, and cheese. Nuts, seeds, seafood, poultry, vegetables such as spinach, broccoli, and asparagus, and fruit including kiwi fruit, apples, bananas, and avocado, plus beans, grains, and oats. And I remember when I'd be tired, my mom would
Google from Puerto Rico. Do it from Google it from Puerto Rico.
I will get the same as US. So.
All right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, my list does not have fish. Does not have bananas.
Well, at least we're learning. We're learning here the Hair Wire. That's the thing.
Anyway.
But it is wonderful to talk about tryptophan as being involved into the serotonin levels and how we can promote better serotonin levels in our body. Now, you mentioned something very important there, Bisan, what it is, serotonin, and it is that our happy, basically, neurotransmitter. So the thing is that we have learned recently that low serotonin levels are also related to hair loss. You guys realize that?
Yeah.
It's incredible. And it doesn't surprise me in a way, because we see that people who are experiencing depression, people who are feeling low, people who are struggling, who are going through hard times in life, usually they will register lower levels of serotonin. And because of that, we will start seeing hair shedding. Now, usually the serotonin acts as an antagonist to what it's causing our body to feel stress. So if you start taking serotonin, it will counterbalance what's happening in your body. So
or eat bananas.
I will have bananas before I go to sleep.
We were told all the time. My mom's French Canadian, and that was always a thing: is have a banana before bed. And even our kids, if they're not tired or going to bed, like if they're hungry, you can have a banana or a slice of toast. That's your option.
You guys, I need to interrupt here. Okay, bananas is a very high glycemic index.
Yes.
So we have to be careful here. I need to put my nutrition food in there here. No.
Please.
It is a high glycemic index. So eating it before bedtime is actually going to raise your sugar level. It's going to help you fall asleep after you have the sugar crash, but it's going to make you wake up after the sugar crash goes away.
See, that's something I've been doing my whole life. Like, because you know how you have like are they wives' tales or like old tricks? Like my Guido, when he's sick, he puts onions on the bottom of his feet and
to take the toxins out.
So and that was always one of them. It's funny how different countries or cultures or where you come from have different.
But at the same time, it is interesting what you're mentioning, Kerry, because again, serotonin levels has also been found to be related to sunlight. And according to the country in which you live, you may get more or less sunlight.
That's why in Canada they tell you to eat bananas, because you don't have a lot of sunshine in winter. Now I get it.
Yes,
yeah.
it makes perfect sense.
We also have because there's Canada, we're multiracial, right? We have a lot of cultures too. A lot of the Swedish, my Swedish friends always say in the winter, go outside and expose your Care Bear stare or your tummy, your to the sun, even if it's cold for 20 minutes, because your tummy absorbs the most sun on your body when it's exposed.
Well,
so in the winter,
especially if you have a big tummy.
Yeah, I don't know. That's always just like one of those things. If you're down and out and you're depressed,
I will go surely.
Do the Care Bear stare.
Do you know what the biohackers
I know my neighbors will have a laugh at that.
Do you know what biohackers expose to the sun? So, I'm not gonna say it, but go Google it. What biohackers expose to the sun?
Oh, the rear end. Huh?
There's a meme going around that we were sharing, and it was somebody with their butthole. They had their leg back in
when I went to the biohacking conference 2 years ago, it was. So there was a guy who was buttholing sunholing, whatever it's. I don't know what it's called. And I looked at him weird, but I'm sorry.
Hey, but that's what people are doing. I mean, people are doing things that may look crazy in certain ways, but at the same time, it's all based off some sort of science. There's some science behind it, even though it may look crazy sometimes. But the thing is that taking it back again with about the sunlight and the serotonin levels, if we have less light, then we are more prone to hair loss. And the thing is that it is strictly attached to the serotonin levels. And this is interesting because we have also heard for years about seasonal hair shedding. Have you ever heard about seasonal hair shedding, guys?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. So, and we see that many people would like to believe that we will have more shedding during the summer. Others will say that you shed more during the winter. When is it? Well, it depends on your country. It depends on how much light exposure you have during the year. So according to that, the times of the year where you get the less sun exposure, then the serotonin levels will be lower, which means that you will be prone to more hair loss because of it. So think about this for a second, guys, and think about techniques that we could improve in our lives to, first of all, kick our serotonin levels. So meditate. So think about working out. Working out helps you tremendously help those serotonin levels go up again. And of course, think about supplements like 5-HTP. Now, Biz, there's a quick fact about 5-HTP that you mentioned backstage. Please, could you share it with the audience?
Yeah, so 5-HTP is actually a neurotransmitter that will elevate your serotonin, and it's good for your feel good and for your hair loss to decrease or balance your hair loss. But about 5-HTP, it deprives the body from tyrosine, so it's an antagonistic to each other. So whenever you take 100 milligrams of 5-HTP, you always take 1 gram of tyrosine. Because if you do not take this 1 gram of tyrosine, eventually 5-6 days later, after taking 5-HTP, you're hitting your neurotransmitter, you're stimulating yourself so much, you'll become jittery. So that's why you want to
that explains a lot. I never thought of that one. And you mentioned the importance of tyrosine binding together with 5-HTP, but I never realized, never crossed my mind that that's why people get jittery sometimes.
Yeah, because it is like you're stimulating your happy hormone way too much, and then in a way that your body can't handle it anymore, then you become shaky, jittery, like as if you're...
I always thought that the people who took 5-HTP and they get the jitters is because I thought I was thinking of people who might react the other way around. Instead of taking calming them down, it will get them hyper. And now I understand that it's not that it's not calming them down, it's because they have too much and they need the tyrosine to attach it to it. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just like you need to balance. All supplements are great supplements out there. Like even if you take tryptophan at night without taking 5-HTP, if it makes you jittery, take tryptophan at night. Tryptophan is a precursor of serotonin, and then it will be coming out from your gut, and it will actually solve the problem in a way. Tryptophan also makes you calm at night. So when I would
So
prefer
you
to
think
take tryptophan at night.
tryptophan to be better than 5-HTP?
I prefer that because me myself, I tried both. And you can alternate too, because being in the same supplement for a longer period of time, you will hit a plateau. So take a tryptophan, buy your tryptophan 30 days, finish it, take it at night before you go to sleep. It will calm you down. You wake up happy. Then take a break from tryptophan to switch to 5-HTP plus tyrosine when the bottle is finished. And it's just this way because you don't want to shock your body way too much in a way. You want to keep it balanced, and you don't want also the body to be numb. Like people who take ashwagandha for a long period of time, at one point they become numb.
Wow. I mean, it makes so much sense. Now, after COVID, we've seen a lot of people going into natural remedies, to calm stress, to deal, with the crisis that we were facing. And you will go to stores and you will see a lack of melatonin. They didn't have 5-HTP. They didn't have St. John's wort. They didn't have valerian root extract. All of these things, they were gone. You can find it anywhere.
No, it's great. It's great that people are going to more herbal remedies because it's way better than taking any antidepressant or anti-anxiety medication, because we don't know the side effects of these chemically structured medication. We don't know the real side effects of them. These herbs have been used since centuries and centuries, but also these can have side effects if you misuse them or you use them for a long period of time. So you just you have to just like research
Yeah.
or ask.
Carrie, now I want to ask you, and now when you do the cell, when you're doing the cell well-being study, when you're doing the epigenetics test, you are finding out a lot about stress. Now, can you walk us a bit on how stress can lead us to hair loss?
Yeah, well, it depends on the type. Like, when I measure epigenetics, I measure 4 areas of stress. A lot of times people think they're stressed and they're like, oh, I'm not stressed, and it's just one area. I look at it as intake stress, so anything your body consumes or absorbs, mental stress or your environmental stress, so everything that's affecting you around you, which is kind of the topic we're talking about right now. And then, of course, physical stress and trauma stress. But with everything with COVID going on, everybody's environmental stress was high. And so I saw a lot of people stress. And so I found when their stressors are high, it increases hair loss, it increases a lot of issues, lack of sleep, and causes that butterfly effect to cause more. And so I was educating people on the importance of soul food and doing things that really fill their cup and bring them joy. For example, I have my jewelry business, my accidental jewelry business. I make jewelry, and it was an activity that could take me from being depressed and low because I was too busy taking care of everybody else as a mom, as a wife, as a business owner, that I never took care of myself. So I would take 15 minutes, half an hour to make a piece of jewelry. And I tell you, it was like I was recharged, and my happy went from down here to up here because I was filling my soul, I was filling my cup. So I educate people on the importance with stress management to do things that really fill you. And those are activities where you get lost doing. And just like the story I told you about my one friend, doing those activities, we went out for dinner and she was depleted, and I didn't even recognize her when I saw her. She just looked bagged. And then 2 hours within hanging out with us and being around her friends and filling her cup, she looked like her again. So
100%.
yeah, and then you do have intake things that could help support this too, that, like if you are depressed and you don't know those activities that fill your cup or add joy, then you got to lead into your food supports too, and your supplement supports, and foods that are going to increase your serotonins, like tryptophan and DP,
5-HTP.
It's 4 syllables. Remember, I'm dyslexic. I can't decipher 4 syllables. So like you have to, then I'm really educating people on the importance of their diet too, because that has a huge thing. And if you're not eating foods that are going to support the distribution of your nutrients, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
And I want to add to exactly what you just said right now. Since serotonin is, I mentioned it is made in our gut. So if we have gut issues, also sometimes we get depressed because if we have gut issues. If
yes.
We have low acidity, low stomach acidity, or like lack of digestive enzymes, or any problem in the gastrointestinal area, then the serotonin will not be formed. Then we will feel depressed.
Yeah.
And when we feel, and that if it has been long time, 6 weeks, then you will lose your hair. You'll start shedding.
You mentioned something very interesting there. I'm sorry, Carrie. And for people who are taking, for instance, antibiotics, if you're taking antibiotics for more than 1 week, I mean, your microbiome is going to be shredded. It's going to be shredded after a week of antibiotics. And what's going to happen if your microbiome, your ability to absorb nutrients is missing, is not there, then unfortunately what you just mentioned, it will happen. Your ability to produce serotonin is going to be low, and it's bad. But whenever we feel sick, we feel bad emotionally,
and then you take antibiotics.
It has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and then
you were mentioning something, Carrie.
Yeah, well, with the whole gut thing too, remember, mind, body, spirit's all connected. And a lot of people don't realize. So if you're depressed and you're not feeling your soul, sometimes you may not eat. I myself, I'm one that will not eat. So I
Yeah.
deprive myself of food. But then there's some people that eat emotionally and eat foods just to fill a void that aren't supporting their gut health, causing the ripple effect of gut health issues. So like me, when I'm upset and stressed, I get a tummy ache. I'm constantly
Yeah,
on the toilet. I get
100%.
gut issues. So of course my guts are not going to be healthy enough to distribute the nutrients I need. But also too, there's those people, like if it's not the mental stress that's affecting your gut health, it could be the food choices, the choices,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
choices. I'm going to repeat this again. Some people make bad choices on their food.
Do
And of
they?
course,
Nah. Who
no.
says that?
And you know, it's a
And
vicious cycle. That you
yeah,
feel
Yes, it
bad,
is.
you will go to your French fries, then you feel even worse, then you go to your pizza, and it's a vicious cycle.
and now your
And
pizza
it is hard to
alcohol.
break from. I understand it's really hard to break from. It's an addiction and it is hard. But
I'm
these
guilty.
people,
I'm guilty.
I know it's hard.
It
These food are
is.
yummy. They're manufactured to make you happy. It's addiction. It's addictive. And it
That's
is
what it
hard.
is.
I
I
know.
knew it. I knew I feel happy every time I eat.
I know, but there's a lot of ways actually
Yeah,
to
you're
break this
right. You're
habit
right.
and to break this addiction. You just have to follow us on the Hair Wire or call me.
Call Bisan. Bisan
Yes.
does stuff online, you guys. She has taught me, and I'm sure Sojo can concur,
Yes.
has taught us so much about food awareness and what you're doing. If you guys look at my last TikTok videos, I have a week of them where I'm in a black outfit. I'm swollen and pudgy, and it was because I had inflammation of chronic inflammation. I had trauma the last year. I lost my father, and I carried it in my cheeks. And it was funny because I lost weight. I lost 18 pounds from all of the stress, but I ballooned. I couldn't fit in any of my clothes. But it was because of chronic inflammation. And it was Basan who gave me tools and awareness of nutrition and how to bring that inflammation down. Like she is, I cannot,
Yes.
Thank
She
Basan,
is, guys. She's the best. She's the best.
you.
That's
like
why
I
we
got my
have it here at
cheekbones
the
down.
Hair Wire. She's the best. So again, Biz, thank you. We have to thank you every time.
Yeah. Yeah, wealth of knowledge. Go find her. If you go to the hairwire.com, we have the team on there and we have access to each team member, Sergio, Basan, myself, and you could direct access us. Eventually we'll have where you could go in and ask questions too from us directly on there. It's coming. I know I keep saying it's coming. It is coming. Life keeps happening. But that is our long-term goal. But yeah, go reach Basan and hire as a coach or just get a consult with her.
Yes.
It's yeah.
Get a consult with our expert, Bissam Dipsy. So please give her a call and write to her an email, and she will get back to you as soon as possible. And of course, you will be in great hands, guys. You will be in great hands. The best. She's the
Thank
best.
you. Love you guys. Oh,
Hey,
we
there's a
are the
love
best
fest
team
here
ever.
at the Hair Wire. So, guys, let's wrap it up here. But remember, serotonin levels are important to be checked if you are feeling, if you're not feeling great, if you're feeling, stressed, it's gonna, it's gonna affect the ability to produce hair. And of course, hair shedding is gonna be one of the things that we will be seeing. So if you're experiencing hair shedding because you're stressed, because you're feeling bad, or is sometimes our body is giving us messages, that something needs to change. So serotonin is just one aspect of it. And we were mentioning different types of food that we can use to increase our serotonin level, also changing our activity to increase serotonin levels. So again, if you are in a place, you live in a country where sunlight is not as abundant as other places in the world, like for instance, the Caribbean, we have many sunlight, too much sunlight for here all year long, guys. Hey, I know you guys from the north and from the deep south, you experienced that. So please check into that, because it can be a game changer to your life and to the quality of your hair. All right.
And don't jump into an antidepressant right away.
That's the thing. So sometimes if you go to a doctor, the first thing that they will jump into, as you just mentioned, this they want to jump into the antidepressants. And I mean, they will do the job, yes, but at what cost?
Mm-hmm.
At what cost? Sometimes, when sometimes a little kick on the serotonin levels will do the trick.
Yeah.
And we don't have to disturb all the systems at the same time. which is
It's not
very
like
smart.
a band-aid. Antidepressants are band-aids for temporary, for now, just to feel okay now. But at the end, you will pay the cost. If you feel depressed or anxiety, there's sunlight, as what Sergio was mentioning. There is supplements, changing diet. Be sure your gut is good, and you'll be good to go.
And I wanted to add a little bit. I want to stretch a little. Sorry, but here's the thing that whenever we talk about what the type antidepressants do, you have to think about, guys, that there are basically two lines here. There's the emotional and the physiological. If physiologically you're missing on some types of neurotransmitters that this type of antidepressants will help in your body, excellent. But if it is an emotional issue, you need to treat it, differently. Okay. And even when it's physically, sometimes, a little natural thing will actually do the trick. So
Right.
don't jump the gun into the medication as quickly, please.
Yep.
Anything you want to add, Carrie, before we go?
No, this is great. Yeah.
Biz, you want to say something else?
No,
Please.
I just want to say, don't take medications, guys. Your food, your environment, it will solve the problem. Believe me, I was there, and I actually get myself out of depression with food and other tools. That has nothing to do with antidepressants.
Actually, I could attribute to that. I have celiac disease. I was very depressed in my mid-20s, very depressed. And as soon as we discovered, and they gave me Zantac or Prozac, all of that,
Yeah.
and I didn't take it. I just intuitively wasn't sure about it. And later on, I found out I have celiac disease and found out it's a common symptom of celiac disease. And it was because of my poor gut health from celiac not giving me the correct serotonin to the brain, causing my depression. So until that's sorted out.
Mm-hmm.
That's excellent.
That's
Good stuff,
okay.
guys. So you hear it, guys. You hear it here at the Hair Wire. Please just subscribe to the channel, like our content, share it, comment, and of course, hit the notification bell so you can get all of our videos. You get notifications every time we put up the new stuff. And also visit our social media. Visit us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. How many other platforms we are?
Everywhere. We are everywhere.
Also, we have our podcast. You can hear our shows on Spotify and what's the next one?
Apple.
Apple Podcasts. Yeah.
Apple Podcast.
Apple.
Okay.
Apple.
I'm not an Apple guy.
And this show is above 18, guys. Just this episode is for above 18.
Yes. So we will see you next time. God bless you all. Till then, bye-bye.